Everybody loves watching a good movie, and luckily for us, many productions are in the works and set to hit theaters very soon.
Oh, baby!
Are you ready to find out which incredible movies are coming to the big screen?
What the hell?
Over 20 years ago, DreamWorks released a film that would forever change the animation industry, Shrek, which quickly became one of the most successful franchises and spawned 4 movies. Now, after so many years since the last film, Shrek 5 is finally set to see the light of day on December 26, 2026, bringing a new chapter in the lives of our favorite ogre family and their wacky friends. It was originally scheduled for an earlier release, but got delayed. After the massive success of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which became a fan-favorite animated film, the hype for Shrek 5 only grew. What we know so far is that we'll see Shrek reunite with Puss in Boots and meet the new friends he made in his solo movie. Of course, we can expect Donkey, Fiona, and their little ogre kids to return as well. Will they be older this time? That's something we can't answer yet, but what we can confirm is that there are plenty of other movies to talk about in this video. So hop on this wave. This is Cinewave. I bet a lot of people who first heard about Bluey when the show premiered never imagined how famous it would become over the years, to the point of being one of the best kids' animations today. Recognizing this success, Disney has decided to produce a Bluey movie, set to hit theaters in 2027 before making its way to Disney+. If you, for some strange reason, have never watched Bluey, the show follows a blue puppy who is always playing different games while learning valuable life lessons. It's a hilarious show that both kids and adults can enjoy. The movie will definitely bring a fun and emotional story, marking a new phase in Bluey's life. Just thinking about it probably makes you want to rewatch all the episodes before 2027, right? Do you like superheroes? If so, 2025 is your year because one of the most anticipated Marvel Cinematic Universe films is on the way. Fantastic Four: First Steps will introduce a new version of the team, 4 explorers who gain extraordinary powers after a space accident. The film will take place in an alternate retro-futuristic universe, meaning it will have a 1960s aesthetic, but with advanced technology beyond what we have today. While the story will help us connect with these fantastic heroes, it also promises some epic moments, like the introduction of Galactus, the Devourer of Worlds. Remember the Smurfs, those tiny blue creatures always outsmarting Gargamel? Well, they're getting a new movie. In the last few films, they were CGI characters who ventured into the real world for hilarious adventures. The new film, set to release on July 18, 2025, will once again bring them into our world, but this time, the Smurfs will have a more cartoony 3D animation style, and even Gargamel will be animated instead of being played by a live-action actor. If you're a fan of the Ice Age movies, get excited, because the franchise is getting another sequel, despite its original studio, Blue Sky Studios, being shut down. This time, Disney is taking over, and they've already set a release date, December 18th, 2026. No story details have been revealed yet, but we do know that all the main characters, the heart of the franchise, will return for this new adventure. Even though previous films tried to give Toy Story a proper ending, it has become one of those franchises that will always return. And honestly, as long as the movies continue delivering stories that make us laugh and cry like babies in the theater, we're okay with that. Set to premiere on June 19th, 2026, this new installment will explore how the classic toy characters deal with electronic devices stealing kids' attention. It also looks like Woody will return as a toy and reunite with Buzz and his old friends. It's amazing how some stories can survive for centuries, right? That's the case with Snow White. What started as a German fairy tale became a worldwide sensation thanks to Disney's 1937 animated film. Now in 2025, nearly 100 years later, Disney is once again reinventing both the character and her story. The film is very close to release, as it will hit theaters on March 20th, 2025. The plot will be slightly different from the original animation. For example, in this version, Snow White becomes a revolutionary figure trying to overthrow the evil queen, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Are you excited for any of these movies? Comment below with hashtag 2025. Alongside Fantastic Four, another superhero movie that could become one of the best in history is also coming out this year. We're talking about the story of the first and greatest superhero of all time, Superman. With a more colorful style than Henry Cavill's version, the new Superman promises to stay much closer to the comic books and animated series. Since its director and writer, James Gunn, is known for making incredible superhero films like the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, DC fans are beyond hyped. The movie is set to release on July 10th this year, which means it's coming out in the same month as Fantastic Four. Which one do you think will be a bigger hit? Coraline is already considered an animated classic, and it definitely deserves that title. Now, its studio, Laika, is planning to release another stop-motion masterpiece that has all the potential to be just as great. Wildwood follows a girl and her classmate who end up in a magical forest while searching for her little brother, who has been kidnapped by a mysterious woman. It looks like it'll be filled with mystery, but there will definitely be some supernatural elements too. Let's just hope it's not as creepy as Coraline. The film is scheduled for release this year, but we still don't know the exact date. The sequel to The Bad Guys is hitting theaters on July 21st this year, and it's looking to raise the stakes even higher with an even wilder adventure. In the first film, the bad guys were actual criminals. Now they're living quiet lives until they get kidnapped by their biggest fans, the bad girls. This forces them to pull off one final massive heist. How do you think this one will turn out? Minions 3 had already been announced a while ago, but it was originally set up for a 2027 release, until that changed for the better. The film was moved up by an entire year, taking the release date that was originally meant for Shrek 5, July 1st, 2026. Since the Minion movies tend to show different periods in their past, this one might give us a look at Gru as a teenager, but we won't know for sure until more details about the story are revealed. In the meantime, why not drop your theories in the comments? I don't think any Minecraft fan ever imagined that this legendary game would get a live-action movie featuring a mix of real actors and 3D animation. Even crazier, Jason Momoa is one of the lead actors, and Jack Black will be playing Steve. But here we are. This is actually happening, and the film will hit theaters on April 3rd this year. Will it do justice to the game or its fans, or will it be a letdown? Well, let's stay optimistic. One of Disney's upcoming live-action remakes is Lilo and Stitch, which will be out very soon, on May 23rd this year. So far, we've only seen a teaser and some scenes showcasing the incredible visual effects used to create a realistic, but still adorable version of Stitch. Will this adaptation stay true to the original? By now, you probably already know that the first Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse, revolutionized animation with its unique style, not to mention its fantastic story. Thankfully, Miles Morales got a new adventure in 2023. Ever since that film was released, a third movie had already been confirmed, continuing the story right where the previous one left off, and set to wrap up this incredible trilogy. The final chapter was originally supposed to come out just a few months after Across the Spider-Verse, but it ended up getting delayed multiple times. Now the last film in the saga is expected to hit theaters sometime in 2026. But you don't have to wait to hit that subscribe button, just do it now. That way, you'll always get our daily videos about your favorite animated movies. No downside. Speaking of sequels, another animated film lucky enough to get a follow-up is Zootopia 2. With Disney realizing how profitable sequels can be, the Animal City movie earned this unique opportunity even after all this time. The film is set to release later this year, on November 26th, but we don't know much about its plot yet. One of the few things we do know is that we'll meet new types of animals, like Gary the Snake. Moana already got a second movie and will surely have a third at some point, but for now, let's talk about what's been announced, its live-action remake. The film is scheduled to hit theaters on July 10th, 2026, and is already in production, with leaked photos from the set circulating online. It will adapt the story from the first movie, with The Rock reprising his role as Maui, only this time in live action. This one's going to be epic. Since we're talking so much about Disney, why not mention Frozen 3, which also has a release date? That date is November 24th, 2027, a full 8 years after Frozen 2. It's a bit of a wait, but it will definitely be worth it. The film will likely be set years after the second one and might even introduce Anna and Kristoff's children. Can you imagine? Looks like 2025 is truly shaping up to be a year of innovation. On October 9th, we'll get a sequel to a major classic, the Tron Saga. This sci-fi franchise explores a virtual world, but its new film, Tron Ares, will focus on an artificial intelligence entering the real world to explore the other side of this universe. But Tron Ares won't be the only 2025 film diving into different worlds. Elio, the next Pixar movie, will do the same, but in a more literal sense. Elio, a boy obsessed with aliens, will travel through outer space, meeting various planets and extraterrestrial friends. We'll get to see his adventure later this year, on June 13th. Do you think this will be a blockbuster, or are you a bit skeptical? One thing's for sure, the story sounds fascinating. You can't deny that aliens are always awesome, right? We're wrapping up this video, but we've left 2 more awesome videos on your screen so you can keep having fun. Thanks for watching, and see you next time!